believe that people's lives can benefit from this. It's not about making money, it's not about building a business. It's truly about being able to teach people. Both my father and I had the same mentality of we love teaching people, we love reaching out to people and giving them something. I believe anybody can study jiu-jitsu. Learning an art like jiu-jitsu is just being able to feel confident that you are able to at least protect and defend yourself if you needed to. I believe that more people can benefit from just even the simplest thing. Any type of training is better than no training. It makes you feel good about yourself. Not to mention for people who are not really active, it can be a form of exercise too. You are doing something physical, and depending on the pace of the class or the style that you're doing, you can actually break a pretty good sweat doing it as well. My name is Rene IBARRA, Dai Shihan. My rank, I hold a 9th degree black belt at YAMABUSHI Jiu-Jitsu. I study under my father, IBARRA. So I started learning with my father actually even a little before. He took me into the dojo at 6 in the house, just doing little small things, just kind of introducing me to the art, and I've been studying with him ever since. I've been studying under him for the last 32 years. He's been studying for 52 years. I've studied jiu-jitsu and taught different places. As a child, it was a little more difficult, but that was mainly because of the pressure I put on myself, knowing that my father was the one who was teaching me and basically critiquing me. So that was a little challenging in the beginning. I still play the student role as well. But I help my father teach class. I help my father run the classes, seminars, whatever we do. If he's traveling to teach, then I travel with him and I teach there as well, representing our school. I do have a separate Connecticut group that I teach, small group, but very dedicated students. I've never done it strictly because I felt like it was a necessity or out of obligation. I've done it for the last 32 years because I do truly love what I do. I love training. I would never stop. The YAMABUSHI Jiu-Jitsu Ryu is a system of self-defense based on traditional Japanese jiu-jitsu. Self-defense training is something that's sprung on you at that moment. It's not a standoff. It's not an equal fair fight. If you want to study something that has no competitive aspect to it and has a little bit more to it in terms of what they offer in terms of striking and not necessarily worrying about I can do this technique and not this one, then I would say that's where people tend to gravitate more to styles like Japanese Jiu-Jitsu. The way we teach is it's self-defense by any means necessary. It's kind of violent, but this is the example I tell people the most is if you got into a fight on the street or you were being attacked on the street and you needed to hit somebody in their throat to be able to get away and go home and be safe, you will do so, and we encourage you to do so. The art was developed for smaller people to be able to defend themselves in all different situations, particularly against bigger opponents. We do run a children's program similar to the one that I did when I was a child, so obviously children are able to learn it, and we've had people as late as into their 60s start training. Obviously, depending on the age and injuries and things of that nature, there might have to be some modifications made during class for their safety and for preservation of life, but anybody at any age can benefit and can get something from the art, absolutely. We use things like momentum, small circle movements, incorporate joint locks, throws, chokes, and there's no competitive aspect to what we do, so there's no rules to follow, there's no competition guidelines. It's basically whatever we need to do to keep ourselves safe. We don't believe that you can do anything to anybody on the street unless you hit them first. Unless you plan on struggling and struggling and struggling until you finally achieve whatever it is you need to achieve. We believe heavily in striking as part of our skill set. I love teaching. I love being able to show people new things. To me, teaching is very rewarding for me because it's a reflection of all the years of training that I put in. It is a give and take. And I feel like some people who don't truly understand martial arts and what it entails, they neglect that aspect of it. And that can make it a little bit more challenging trying to get through to somebody to realize what they need to be doing to not only help benefit themselves, but also keep their partner safe. You have some people who just come in and they don't realize how difficult it is and how intricate it is, which then, you have to motivate them. You need to take care of the people that you're training with, and you can't just go all out for yourself and not worry about them. I feel if I can teach somebody something and I can teach them well, it kind of tells me that I've trained properly because I'm able to understand what it is I'm doing and not just understand it for myself, but understand it well enough to pass it on to somebody else. As long as I am physically able to do it, whether it's in training or in teaching, I plan to continue to do so.